No. Okay.
Uh,
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of That's All Kayfabe. With me and my buddy Gabe and this little fly that's flying around. How you doing, Gabe?
I see you, man.
You see it, right? The little fly.
Yeah, man. Did you give him a name?
Fuck no, I'm gonna kill this. No, I'm gonna chopstick this motherfucker if I
we'll,
can.
we'll call him Chris Benoit. We'll cut that out.
Yeah, I like him for his work, but not for his personal life.
I like him the fact that he's a fly, not the fact that he killed his wife and child. Oh man,
That's
what a way to
perfect.
start off the episode. Nah, but how you
No,
been, man? Doing okay?
same old man. Just trying to get the pills right. It's all about balance. You know how balance is, right? Balancing
I
things.
Thanos talked about that, like with the pen.
I think it was a knife, but yes, he did
What
talk
was it?
about
Oh, with the I'm holding a pen. That's why I was
yeah,
trying to do fucking balance on my fingers while I'm talking about it.
it is all about balance. But I know the have you been watching a lot of the wrestling this week?
I caught up with a decent amount of stuff. Like usually the WWE stuff, I kind of just watch with highlights, and with eventually we'll talk about it. But I saw they uploaded Blood and Guts on YouTube, like to the
Mm-hmm.
AEW's official channel. But I guess it's the last half of it because it's like a 24-minute long video. And
Huh.
when they started the video, it was when Swerve was coming out and he got attacked by Hangman.
Oh yeah, that was right at the end. That was yeah, because I saw it on Hulu and I've been watching that and then a lot of podcasts like I know Chris Van Vliet had like Jinder Mahal, the Undertaker's podcast. Just listening to all the random. The Cody Rhodes had our Truth on the What Do You Want to Talk About
Yes, I
podcast,
saw
so
that
that was
one.
pretty good. Yeah, everything's pretty cool this week.
I know there's a lot of wrestling content this week, man. I feel like we got a decent episode. Hopefully,
Oh yeah. Oh no, we got a lot to talk about. First off, speaking of balance, Bobby Lashley has been removed from WWE's eternal roster. Internal roster. Did I say eternal? Internal.
I think it's the same thing.
He has been there for a while, so he could have been from the eternal roster.
He's one of the Eternals with Angelina Jolie in that movie nobody saw.
Says here a contract offer by WWE was made to Bobby Lashley, but it wasn't one that immediately made him jump to sign. Lashley has strongly considered seeing what he would be worth out on the market via PW Insider. What do you think about that? I know I saw you pouting a bit with Bobby Lashley.
Dude, I love Bobby Lashley, man. You know he
Me
has
too.
alopecia.
I didn't know till you told me that because I would always make fun of the fact that he had no like lashes,
Uh
and that
huh.
his name is Bobby Lashley, so he should have lashes, like really thick lashes.
Bobby No
Uh,
Lashley.
and it just like, but I mean, he looks good for a smooth bodied man. You know what I mean? Like
Oh nah, man. It's like if I could have a body like that, I would have alopecia too.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
balance. It's all
yeah.
about balance.
It's the balance of. Nah, man. I love Bobby Lashley. Like all jokes aside, I wonder what's gonna happen with him. Like, I feel like he's gonna do pretty decent if he were to go to another company. He was big in Impact when he was off in the Indies. Well, not even in the Indies, just like in Impact Wrestling, because he was there. He made a name for himself, and then WWE saw what big of a star he was over there, and so they fucking signed him back, like in 2018, 2019.
Well, I had an idea. I've always had this idea. I don't know if I pitched it to you where um in WWE could have done this because they had when they would have a lot of guest GMs like
Mm-hmm.
the Muppets and Pee
Bob
Wee
Barker.
Herman, yeah, Bob Barker, Drew Carey. I had an idea that AEW can do that and have Steve Urkel and use his machine to have turned Jade Cargill into a male character, and it's Bobby Lashley who's now a male Jade Cargill.
Damn, that's one of the coolest things I've ever heard, man. I love Family Matters.
Dude, you remember that machine he would use to turn into like fucking Bruce Lee and Elvis and shit?
Yeah, that was the same machine when he became like normal, right? And like not a
Like
nerd.
Stefan. Yeah, he would become Stefan
Stefan,
Urkel.
yeah, Stefan,
Yeah.
and then fucking that's when what was the name of the daughter?
Laura.
Laura. Yeah, she became what's the proper word? A hooser.
Wit.
Yeah, she became wet when he was Stefan.
I think the term's wet. No, I don't know.
Gold digger. There you go.
There you go.
Because I was like, man, even for a nurse, Steve Urkel's handsome. And then for her to be Stefan, she'd be like, oh my, oh gee
Yeah.
willikers. Like,
Oh yeah. She was all
what
over
a
for him.
fucking bitch, man.
What a mark. I
What
know.
a what a dumbass mark.
She's a mark for Stefan. That was my idea though, that they do that so they could write Bobby Lashley into AEW.
I legit forgot. Like, why did we start talking about Family Matters? And
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
because of
no.
Bobby Lashley.
But that was my idea. I've already copyrighted it. Send it to. I had it sent to WWE, but I guess they can't do it anymore. But
They have it written
also,
back.
yeah, they have it. Also regarding uh hashtag Pone's report that MVP and Tamina have been removed from the WWE Eternal roster. MVP and Tamina are not expected to be used on screen, and MVP is not expected back in the company. This has been the conclusion for quite some time. This is via Fightful Select. Which one's Tamina? Is she the one that's in charge of NXT?
Tamina's the one on the right. And
You got me there. I don't know my lefts and my
Ayo.
rights.
Tamina, no, that's Ava. Ava, I forgot what her last name is in NXT, but that's The Rock's daughter.
Hmm.
Tamina, man, how do I describe her? She is a Samoan.
She looks Samoan. Thought maybe she was.
She was lingering around for a little bit, like for a while because she debuted with the Usos back in like 2012, 2011, 2012. And the big thing was that the Usos were Rikishi's kids, and
Mm-hmm.
Tamina was the granddaughter, I think, of Jimmy Superfly Snuka. But then when they found out that Jimmy Snuka was a murderer, they kind of dropped that and just left it as Tamina because she debuted as Tamina Snuka, and
That
now it's
really,
just Tamina.
they really missed an angle there. They could have made her a rowdy heel with that, but
Dude, they
I
could have
could
made her an
understand.
accomplice to the murder in 1980 whatever, where he murdered his girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
No,
nah, F up.
no, it's a good storyline. They're really, I mean, I know what the storyline they're doing now with Jay Uso and Rhea and Liv and Dominic. I think it
Mhm.
would fit right in now. That kind of stuff.
I think so too. People are in for the entertainment, and I
Mhm.
would 100% support if they were to bring back Jimmy Snuka's name from the grave for a storyline. I feel like he owes that at least to the company.
Yeah. Yeah, it could
Hmm.
be written in there somewhere.
But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, she was on the women's roster for lingering around like in just some matches, but not really like utilized in a lot of ways. Like I
Hmm.
guess a lot of people didn't really care too much for her, like as a professional wrestler. But from what I've heard, like she is like super fucking awesome backstage and just like a great person in general.
Hmm.
And I just know it's like just she has a lot of good things said about her.
Well, that's a shame that she's being not expected. Maybe I don't know to not be used on screen, but maybe they'll use her in some other way. What do you think about MVP not expected to come back?
I don't know. I guess I'm kind of indifferent about it. Like I not in a negative way, but I didn't really care too much for MVP, but I did appreciate MVP whenever I saw him on television. I mean, in the end, it's whatever they want to do. Hopefully, they're comfortable with whatever they decide to do on their future endeavors.
I thought he was a good promo for sure, especially with Omos and the Hurt Business. Says here MVP reflects on his latest run in WWE via Instagram. I came back so my baby boy could see daddy in the WWE ring, the Royal Rumble. That's all I wanted, a one off. I was ready to retire, Then I received an offer to become a producer. The pandemic hit. I became a producer and a commentator for Main Event. Next, they asked me to put the boots on and help with TV during the PC era. One episode of Raw, MVP was in 9 segments. Heyman agreed to put me and Roberto together. I signed a full-time talent contract, and then we made history. What a ride. So,
Man, good for him. He sounds. I want to say he sounds humble,
yeah.
but I don't know if you ever seen the post about him complaining about Triple H. You ever see those?
No, but I've seen how a lot of people think Triple H isn't utilizing black superstars for sure.
Yeah,
But
and it's like this whole thing we've been talking about does not help that cause at all.
no, no, it
It
doesn't.
really
It really
doesn't.
doesn't.
And a lot of people are saying they're excited to hear about MVP when he appears on Chris Van Vliet, and just for him to talk shit about Triple H and how racist he is, I guess.
I hope he tells that story about Chris Jericho too, where they got into like a fight or something at a Marriott or like a hotel or something.
Oh, they got in a fight. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, they were like passing by each other and they were like talking shit to each other. And one of them was like in WWE and the other was AEW, so they just started like fighting or something. I don't remember the whole tale, but I
Oh,
do
this was just
remember.
like recently.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty like maybe a year or two ago.
Damn, that'd be fucking funny. Did MVP win?
I'm pretty sure MVP won. He he
I
had
hope
he had
so,
beat
man.
Jericho. Yeah, he
Yeah,
looks like it. Like
I
he
know.
would.
That'll give him a big push, man. That's a learning tree right there.
I'm the learning tree. His fucking song.
Hi guys.
Here's a report: WWE gives up on Omos. I didn't read this, but it just made me laugh because he's just like, "Where's everyone going? Where's the Hurt Business at?"
Dude, that makes me so sad. Yeah, and again, like this does not help the fucking
The Triple
the
H.
assumption about Triple H. Oh my goodness. I kinda liked Omos a little bit. I felt
Oh
like he
yeah,
was doing a little bit better.
he was. You could tell he was trying, but I don't know, man. Like you can't put a fish in the grass and tell it to swim. I don't know. I don't know the saying that doesn't make it sound racist, but he
Something about
tried.
like the horse. You can't lead a horse to water and force them to tope con hilo.
Well, it's like you could put a fish. You could tell a fish and a lemur to climb a tree, and eventually both of them will learn how. One just learns quicker than the other. I
Man,
don't
dude,
know.
that's beautiful. It's like it's all beautiful.
I just took my pills for the night, so a lot of shit I say is gonna be a little strange.
Oh
Uh,
man, dude. Welcome to
yeah,
That's All Kayfabe, man. This is gonna be a
that's
good
okay.
episode. What's your opinion about Omos? Like, you think just because of his size, it just limit what he could do?
It just shows you that like it's not that easy wrestling. Like just because you have the size, uh, doesn't mean like I don't know. It's not easy. Look at Logan Paul, how he took to it, and he doesn't have this big size advantage or anything like that. But he was a pretty, decent looking dude.
Hmm.
But it just tells you how like some people actually care for the business or are so like natural to it. This fucking fly that it's harder than it looks. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it just shows. To me, it shows more respect for people like Logan Paul, Bad Bunny, or anyone else that like is trying to come into the business, wrestle, and then like take to it.
Hmm. Yeah. I I mean, I'm not saying he's gonna let go, but hopefully they do try to do something else with him. Because I think the last match I saw him in, he had a match with Seth Rollins at one of the pay per views like last year. I think it was at Backlash, but when they were in Puerto Rico like last year,
Hmm.
and he was in some segments with Tozawa for a little bit, and I don't think anything ever came up from that between them two. It just sucks when you hear about a wrestler being given up on like that. But I know he has a YouTube channel like he's trying to promote, and
Hmm.
he's like a cologne connoisseur. He has like hundreds of colognes, and like he just tests them all out, like smells them. and like he gives like his personal ratings on them and his personal opinions. He really likes anime too, and he seems very well presented, like when he's like on television, like doing interview wise.
Yeah,
Like he could express himself very freely, and he just looks professional, you know.
yeah,
So I feel like no matter where he goes to again, like he'll be able to pick up something like in maybe like commentary or just I don't know, like news reporting in a sense too. Maybe.
yeah. He'd be a good on-screen like bodyguard or something like that. Like how he
Hmm.
was with the Hurt Business, where he was just like a muscle. I think he'd be
He
pretty good at that.
he wasn't with the Hurt Business.
He wasn't.
Uh
Who was he with then?
He was an MVP, but MVP was out of the Hurt Business by then.
Oh, okay. Well then, okay. Semantics.
Triple H. Is that you?
Time to play the game.
Yeah, it's me. Oh my son.
It's me,
Our
Lemmy.
Lemmy Killmaster from the band Motorhead. I play the bass guitar.
I love the Ace of Spades. It's my favorite card. Uh,
I love German memorabilia.
uh,
Oh
I love Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
hell yeah, dude. I feel like you would. I love Scotch smoking cigars and this boil that's on my face too.
I play Spider
Dude,
Man.
I play Ultimate Spider-Man for the Nintendo GameCube. If you like to gamble and play Spider-Man.
uh Speaking of not helping Triple H out with the whole racial thing, CM Punk is trying to restructure his WWE deal, and he plans to stay with the company, quote, forever. I believe it's 3. I can tell you right now that he is in the process of trying to get his deal restructured from a money and years standpoint. Punk's legitimate stance right now, if all goes well, I will never leave. That's his legitimate standpoint. He wants to be here forever is the actual word he used. Basically, he wants this to work out. He wants to get paid, and then he wants, when it's time to slow it down and just run NXT. You know what I say to that? I give it stars. I got this.
Hell yeah, dude. That looks so nasty.
Yeah, I thought this picture was funny. I'm gonna
That
have it
is fucking
beside.
funny. We got to use that more often. We got to use that for us when we give our own personal star ratings for
5
matches.
stars. Now,
Five stars.
what do you think about CM Punk restructuring his deal with WWE?
It still blows my mind that he came back to WWE. It's still odd to see him on my screen, and let alone to have a match at SummerSlam when it does come around. I mean, good for him. That sounds badass. I feel like he'd be a great coach because I feel like for the most part he does want to be teaching like the younger generation. Because I know he's doing a lot of that with like Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez down in NXT. But I feel like they're more humble than Jack Perry over in fucking AEW. I
The
mean,
scapegoat.
it's good for him. The whole thing that cringes me out when I sent you these articles. That I'm reading the comments and people are talking about, oh, like he just broke ass Phil Brooks needs more money, haha. I'm
I
like,
don't know.
oh man, dude, it's like it's crazy that you need the money to proceed in life, man. That's nuts. It's like you're
Yeah,
telling me I need a job so that way I can live. Like if I got no money, I need to work to make more money. What?
no, that's. I'm trying to think. Is that the world I haven't worked in a while. No, I what's the first thing I think about when I wake up? How the fuck am I going to pay my bills?
I
You
know. The
know?
first day I was like, well, first I thank God every day. I told this to Giselle. I wake up. I thank God that I have another day to live for the health of my family. That Guy Fieri is still alive,
He is, isn't
and I hope so. I haven't checked today. And
he?
the fact I can make money. That's it. I mean, to pay bills, yeah, but it's like I I also use it to buy like magic cards and stuff like that. But as long as my bills are paid, then I should be okay.
Yeah, yeah. No, we all have our vices.
What's your opinion about Mr. Brooks?
Well, here's more news here. CM Punk is signed to a deal with WWE through to November 2026, not including injury time. WWE and Punk are currently discussing a new contract. WWE approached Punk about working out a new deal. They are seeking to lock in a bigger deal. Why they approach Punk if a deal is locked in already? New world, huge numbers, merch, and socials was the terminology used via PW Insider. No, I don't know. This is exciting because like I feel like the AEW really fumbled it with the way they lost CM Punk and did all that shit, and he essentially went to WWE and they picked him up out of spite, and they knew that it would like hurt AEW, and it was like I don't know, the perfect storm, and I
Fucked
don't
him up,
know.
man.
Yeah, AEW just continues to like make it evident that they're hurting without him. Like when they keep mentioning WWE, and here's a WWE, kind of mentioning it, but you could tell they don't care or they don't need to because they're such a juggernaut. And a lot of it has to do with CM Punk. Like, of course, Cody Rhodes too. But CM Punk is like Cody Rhodes is like the whole cake and CM Punk's like the frosting and the icing, like they took everything from fucking AEW.
They really did, man. It's crazy to think, like, 5 years ago, like 2019, pre-COVID era, that WWE was the one mentioning AEW. And, like, they would just take shots back and forth at each other. And now WWE doesn't even, like, mention them. And how you said, too, man, they fucking fucked up with CM Punk, man. They
Hmm.
really did. Like, this dude, no matter what, too, it's like he's a draw no matter what. Like you could just have him talk. He could keep up with anybody talking. I don't know if he's the same like ring wise because we haven't seen him wrestle in quite some time. But the matches he did wrestle in AEW, like he was still doing good.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's just unfortunate that he got injured on his first match back, and then he's been out ever since. But man, they still been using him on TV. It still gets high ratings. Merch sells. Well, I'm not wearing the shirt right now, but I got two CM Punk shirts, one from AEW, one from WWE. Call me a fucking mark. Uh, but it's crazy. Like it's good for him. Like I feel like he does have a plan set out, and like you said, WWE probably signed him out of spite, and it's crazy to think that ever since then, like it's just been working great for both parties.
What's the
You
same
know.
with Cody Rhodes too? Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they did Cody Rhodes out of spite as well, and of course like Cody was probably talking to Vince while CM Punk was probably talking to Triple H, like behind the scenes, texting like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go over there. Now that they fucked up over here, they fucked up over here." AEW, I mean, and
Mm-hmm.
it just goes to show you how AEW every time they would get a WWE wrestler, they would just fuck it up. They would have like this big boom from Soraya, from Ruby Soho, from uh Keith Lee, and then you have bigger examples like fucking CM Punk. I mean Cody Rhodes is already there, but how they
Edge.
would just they're Adam Copeland, Edge,
Mm-hmm.
and how they just would fuck it up. They'd always fuck it up, and it's like I don't know what to say. Like it's almost like a mo like of theirs. You know what I mean? They're just they get this opportunity and they just fuck it up.
Yeah, and I don't want to necessarily throw it all in AEW because there are a few exceptions that have worked, like WWE to AEW. Like Chris Jericho was the first one. I mean, he was the first AEW champion. I mean, now that his values fucking doo doo. You got John Moxley. I think the next big one's up there is probably like Bryan Danielson. He
Hmm.
hasn't won a championship, but man, this dude's putting on fucking banger after banger after banger of matches. and let alone like 1 hour long matches. Like we're just complaining about it next week, but the 1 hour long match he was in last time, like that shit was it was just a good fucking match, like just actual like wrestling, you know, like. And then I guess maybe or Claudio, would you say? I feel like he's
Yeah,
kind of like an in betweener. Like they haven't fucked up with him, but it's like they're not doing very much with them.
there's a few exceptions, like Sting too, and
Oh,
like you
Sting,
said,
yeah,
Brian Danielson. He's an exception too. Like you could tell he's just like grateful to be there and stuff like that. But I don't know. It just feels like they don't know what they're doing as far as like storylines. It's just booked week to week, and then CM Punk was like a big deal when they had him, and then the fact that they made it's documented pretty well that they made Collision for CM Punk to
oh
separate
yeah,
the
man,
locker rooms.
that's one of the 10 Commandments, dude. Like that shit's set in stone, bro.
Yeah, so that was all made for him. That was like his posse. So he'd always have what House of Black or Ricky Starks or I don't know who else, but this is just a good example of like there's still a locker room over there that Rowdy probably takes advice from CM Punk, even though he's in another company, and he still gives it to them.
Yeah,
Regardless that he has no obligation to.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a win on WWE's part. Hopefully, this relationship can last long because you never know what's gonna happen within like the next 2 years. Like anything could happen. But from the way WWE is going, it's just nothing but like a profitable years that are gonna come their way.
No, for real. And besides CM Punk, sources tell Fightful Select that Delta is headed to WWE. I don't know who this is. Do you know who this is?
I don't know, but I sent it to you because I don't know if it's one of the comments. Someone made like a highlight video of like what she's able to do. Oh, right here.
Let's see. Damn. So she's like Brock Lesnar esque.
I guess so, dude. It's like I saw this highlight video. She kicked ass.
Yeah, she's got like Brock Lesnar's moveset.
Look at those biceps, dude. Those are like Jade Cargill biceps.
She looks a little short, but I mean, she looks like good for whatever. We need more strong women in the fucking women's division.
Hmm. And then plus like, oh, not it's not knocking like anybody's looks, but I guess like the lack of a better term, like an oddity compared like with her looks, like she'll really stand out like amongst the women's division, but like maybe in a positive way with
Yeah,
if
yeah.
they're used correctly. Like it's like throughout the years you have like the same women throughout WWE, like their women's roster or the Divas roster, and then like one of the top women now it's Rhea Ripley. Like just like I guess kind of like another, not like another China because I feel like she's better than China. That's a hot take. I think Rhea Ripley is better than China,
No, yeah, yeah. She is. She
but
is.
it's like she's an odd one out from like that group. And it's like now you have a bunch of different variety of like women wrestlers in your roster, and just to add more variety. Like that's always a positive too.
No, yeah, this chick definitely looks like she can match Rhea Ripley's energy,
Hmm.
and looks like I don't know. Of course, she doesn't look as big as Rhea from just seeing her here, but she looks like she could fucking go toe to toe, and she needs someone, and we could talk about it later, but like you have someone like a Liv Morgan or Tiffany Stratton or who's the Puerto Rican one? Zelina Vega.
Selena Vega.
They're, you know how they're so petite, and it's like I don't know how you can beat Rhea Ripley. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's like, maybe I don't know if it'll happen, but with the relationship they have, Jordan Grace, like from TNA, she's the one that's like a smaller figure, but she's all just like pure muscle.
hmm
So maybe she could, her against Rhea Ripley, that would be fucking awesome too. I
Oh
just
yeah.
don't know how far that relationship's going to be between like NXT and TNA. Maybe it's just going to be like between them two and not WWE, unless they're trying to build up like a pay per view where it's like a Worlds Collide kind of thing.
No, it'd be cool, especially if Rhea does get the belt back, or at least tears through every opponent. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know, like I don't know how long they're going to stretch this Liv Morgan love triangle stuff, but we'll see. We'll see
Yeah,
how well it does, especially with the SummerSlam match coming up.
I'm all about it.
Hell yeah! Speaking of fat asses, here's Rikishi. uh, here's Rikishi, and we were just talking about it. Rikishi calls out WWE's booking of Jey Uso, questions if they're trying to break his marriage up by involving him with Rhea Ripley, and if that's the best they got for him. He also addresses people that are tired of the Bloodline. This is via Rikishi's Off the Top pod, which I did not know he had a podcast. That's pretty cool. Let's take a listen.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing, man. I got, hairs on the back of my neck every time I watch it. Not, okay, SummerSlam. Where is he? Let's go. I don't know. Let's write him in that he likes mommy. Mommy, that's the best that those, writers got. Let's write this guy into a relationship with mommy. What y'all trying to do? Break his marriage up? Y'all can't put him in a good storyline, so what you gonna do now? God forbid you guys try to tell him or tell her tongue kiss each other on Raw. That better not happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, there's so much that, when it comes to the Bloodline, man, this is what gets me like going. This is why I tell the Bloodline, when people talk about the Bloodline, oh, we tired of the Bloodline. You can be tired all you want for a few years, right? But we've been going through this for 75 plus years, right? You don't think we tired? But we the type of people, we tired, but we keep coming back. We keep finding solutions, not excuses, solutions. And the solutions need to be the best you can be in that squared circle. Otherwise,
Well, he pretty much just keeps talking about how if people are tired of the Bloodline, that they're obviously doing something right if the Bloodline is still like the top selling heel group. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, what do you think about him, Rikishi, saying about the booking of Jey Uso, where he's involved with Rhea Ripley?
I did not know Jey Uso was married.
I would tell.
Go ahead.
No, I would tell Rikishi if I was Jey Uso, dude, shut the fuck up. I want to tongue kiss the shit out of this
I
bitch.
was like, I'm trying to fucking tongue punch your fart box, Dad. Shut up.
You have enough. You've had enough ass in your face, or
I
face
know.
in your ass.
So, Dad, people been eating your ass all your life. It's about time to return their favor. Not I'm gonna eat your ass. I fucking fucked this whole thing up by accident.
No, I imagined he was married. I don't know why. I just imagine all the Samoans got married young in a tribal like ceremony, like in
Oh,
Moana or
like,
something.
yeah, Milano, where they slice their hands open and fucking like blood packed like that.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And they sail to the nearest island with coconuts.
Coconuts for rum, right? Like spices
Yeah.
and goods. I think that's how Christopher Columbus did it.
And then they make the Girl Scout cookies for the
Oh
Girl
man,
Scouts.
I don't really care for this girl. I mean, for Samoan Girl Scout cookies. I just don't like coconut. I
They're
know,
racist.
man.
That's pretty racist. No, they're okay.
It's
They're not. They're like mid tier.
mid tier. I like tagalongs and thin mints. Those are pretty fucking good.
Thin mints are disgusting.
Whoa! Hot
No.
take of the day,
How is that a hot
man.
take? You like eating toothpaste?
Holy moly! Nah, they're not my favorite. I like them, but like The Girl Scout cookies, it's tagalongs first, and then Thin Mints, and then I don't know another kind that's underneath them.
Which ones are tagalongs?
The ones with the peanut butter in them.
Oh, okay, yeah, those are the best.
Hell yeah,
That
those are the
I
best.
agree. I agree.
Speaking of chocolate and peanut butter, we should go back to Rikishi. Uh,
Yeah,
but
what do you think about him saying about Rhea and Jey Uso and the Bloodline and all this?
with the bloodline, I could guess. Like, is he mentioning how the bloodline is? People are talking shit about it because they see it all the time.
Yeah, yeah, he's saying that, but then he's saying, well, if if no one wanted the Bloodline, they wouldn't be there. But it's obvious that people want the Bloodline because they're still moving merch or they're, the hated group. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
like, he's saying, why are you complaining about? Oh, it's the Bloodline again, when obviously everyone wants to see them.
Yeah. I think people are just tired because we saw them for like 4 years straight in the main event scene. I mean, it's not their fault. They did a good job where Roman Reigns was just the final boss. Like for every pay per view, well, not every pay per view that he was on defending, like he was always considered pretty much the final boss. Like no pun intended for The Rock, and sure, like he was Endgame. Like he was the Thanos, like Thanos to Marvel, Roman Reigns is to WWE. Like for years, and it's like it's never been like that. Well, as long as I've been alive, it's never been like that. Where there's been a dominant champion for X amount of years, going unpinned. Um, but no, it's like you finally beat Roman Reigns, you become the champion. For Cody, and Roman is off taking a break, and Jey Uso's doing his own thing. Like, what more of the bloodline can you do? You know, I mean, to their credit, they're doing a really good job with like Jacob Fatu, Tamatanga, Tangaloa, and Solo. Like they're doing good, but I feel like this is just like a bias point of view because that's his son.
Hmm.
Like his son's the leader of the new bloodline because they're brothers, right? Solo and the Usos.
I have no idea if it what where the tree is. I don't remember. I remember seeing that family tree fucking graphic, but I don't remember where they fall on. But I know they're. I'm sure they're related
I
in
don't know.
some.
It's like I see a bunch of like Q's and A's and those little asterisks over the O's and I's. That's all I imagine. I was like, none of these names are real. What? I don't know. I feel like if all parties are involved and like they understand like what they're getting into, like it should be okay. It's not like they're doing it up against their will, like compared to like 20 years ago.
Well, to me, I'm just wondering, like, if people are tired of the bloodline, who else do you want to see up there, like as the top faction? You know what I mean? Like, do you want the Wyatt Six or whatever they're called? Do you want the LWO? Like the Bloodline are doing good work. Like they can't really be matched with what they're doing. And then the fact that you have Roman biding his time, waiting to come back, it makes it even more like, man, he could show up at any time. And this could be, a civil war or whatever they're calling it between them. So it's intriguing and makes the story even better. Other than who else is gonna fill that spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. It's like they're still gonna be there for some time. So I mean, no matter if the fans like it or not, it's like they are still gonna be there, and it's still gonna be a storyline that other people are still gonna be interested in. For me,
Mhm.
I'm interested in it. Like I'm gonna be hyped when Roman Reigns when he comes back and eventually challenges back for the title of like head of the table. Like that's gonna be something big. But
Mhm.
I mean, as far as a match between Roman Reigns and Solo, mm, mm, I don't
uh,
know.
I mean, we're gonna see what happens. Well, with SummerSlam for sure. Uh,
Hmm.
that's always something. But speaking of SummerSlam, we could take a look at the card here.
Yes,
and
yes,
it looks
yes.
like a pretty good card. SummerSlam is next week, August
Next
3rd.
already. I think I'll be able to watch it.
Saturday, August 3rd, 2024, in Cleveland, Ohio.
Nice,
So
nice. How many matches are there?
so we
15?
have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches. That's a pretty
Hey, that's pretty
pretty nice
nice.
card. Yeah, that's a
That's
pretty
a
nice card.
that's a nice card. What matches do we got here, Lorenzo?
Let's start with CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, with Seth Rollins being the special guest referee. What do you think of that one?
It kind of makes me sad that Rollins is being used as a special guest referee instead of being put in an actual match. But I understand why they got to put him as a special guest referee because I feel like the beef right now is just between Drew and Punk. Like if they were to put Rollins in that mix, like actual triple threat, I feel like you'll be kind of how do you say? It'll be kind of hard to build up to an eventual match between Seth and Punk at WrestleMania, which was supposed to happen like this past year.
Yeah, it'll get convoluted, the
Mm-hmm.
story or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's a chance they could do a finish like I don't know. There's been finishes where like Drew, has a chair, or CM Punk has a chair, and Seth Rollins takes it away. He's gonna hit CM Punk, but he ducks and he hits Drew instead, and he gets forced to count
Mm-hmm.
the 3. So, you're like, oh man, I have to count the guy I hate. Like
Ooh, like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart and Undertaker.
hmm hmm
Hell yeah, dude!
exactly.
I'm about that. Who
I
do you
could
think is
see that.
gonna win? I say it's gonna be Drew.
I think CM Punk's gonna win.
Really, no, I'm just kidding.
That's exactly the opposite person I chose. How dare you?
How dare you have a different opinion than me? I can't do this podcast anymore.
Next year, Sami Zayn, the champion, versus Braun Breaker, singles match for Intercontinental Championship. What do you think of this?
Braun Breaker needs to fucking win this.
That'd be
He
great.
needs to win this. I'm a genetic freakazoid. I
Did
don't know if that's a word.
What was the last match? Were they in a singles match last, or was it a triple threat?
It was a singles match. They fought
Hmm.
each other at Money in the Bank.
Dang, it's weird that they're having a rematch here. He has to win then, right?
Yeah, he has to win because I think they did like a gauntlet match. I think to determine the number one contender, and that was when Breaker speared Dragunov and like knocked out Dragunov with his spear. Do you remember that?
Mm-mm.
No, yeah, that he got knocked out, so the ref called out the match. I mean,
I'm
storyline wise, not like
Yeah,
for
yeah.
realsies.
I'm just I don't I like Sami Zayn, but I don't want to see where he's down and his body starts like yeah, like he's what is it? That character that Finn Balor used to do where he'd start like coming up on 1 HP and come back to life, and the
Oh,
demon
the
or
demon.
the yeah, he just come back and he has 1 HP and he's able to use it to like hit the opponent, and just win. Like I don't want that. It gets old.
And I like their last match. I was just upset that it took one haluva kick to beat Braun Breaker. That was the one thing I
Yeah.
was upset about. But I think this is Breaker's time to shine. He's gonna be dominant as fuck, like right behind Gunther. I don't know, maybe that's a big thing, but I'm excited for it. I'm ready for it
Me
to
too.
happen. I love Sami Zayn, but like you said, I'm ready for somebody different.
Yeah, I'm same here. It's the exact same thing. Next match, Logan Paul, the champion, versus LA Knight, a singles match for the United States Championship.
LA
What do you
Knight
think here?
needs to win this shit. He needs to.
I hope he does too. I'm getting tired here too of Logan Paul pulling out the brass knuckles and winning with some interference or whatever. That's the
Well,
whole thing
not
too.
only that, I think ever since he won the U.S. Championship, he's only defended it twice. And he's already been champ. He's the third longest reigning U.S. Championship in history, where he's only defended the championship belt twice.
I tell you. No, LA Knight does need to win. He
I
doesn't need a
know.
belt.
I love LA Knight too, man. He reminds me of like just like a '90s era superstar, like over the top, kind of like The Rock in a way, but
I
like with
see
his
it.
over the top promos and just a good wrestler in general. I'm about it, man. I'm ready for it. I'm gonna pop when he wins. Mark it
Yeah.
here right now. I'm gonna spoil. I'm spoiling SummerSlam right now. Drew McIntyre's gonna win. Braun Breaker's gonna win. LA Knight's gonna win.
Next here we have Liv Morgan, the champion, versus Rhea Ripley, a singles match for the women's world title. Who do you think is going to win this one?
I think Dominic is gonna cause Rhea Ripley. I think he's gonna turn on the Judgment Day.
So he's going to cause Rhea Ripley to lose or win?
Mark it. I'm just kidding. Yeah, he's gonna cause Rhea Ripley to lose, and he's gonna side with Liv Morgan. Either if
As
it's
much,
by
yeah.
accident or on purpose. I feel like the Judgment Day is going to break at SummerSlam. And we'll get to another match like coming up soon where I believe it's going to be like that as well.
No, as much as I don't want that to happen, that is what I believe. Yeah, I agree with you. That is most likely what's going to happen. That Rhea Ripley's going to lose because of Dominic.
Dude, I don't care. Liv Morgan's so fine. That's my wife. Man, I gotta stop that. I feel gross saying that.
No. I watched that Catfish episode where that dude thought he was dating Liv Morgan.
I saw parts of it, and that dude was fucking pissing me off.
It's a good episode. What's next here? Bailey versus Bailey, the champion, versus Nia Jax singles match for the WWE Women's Title.
I think Bailey is going to lose.
Mm.
I don't know. I feel like it is. I want her to win. But I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Nia Jax has been doing a lot better in the ring ever since she got re-signed and came back. She's a very much better performer she is today than she was like 3 or 4 years ago.
No, I agree with you on that. I just hope Bailey doesn't lose. I really enjoy Bailey as a champion, and I don't know. I don't know what reason she would lose for other than damage control getting in the way or interrupting and them
Mm-hmm.
starting a feud there, but that would suck to give Nia Jax the belt and then I don't know. I don't know who she would feud with. I mean, Nia Jax is a powerhouse, so maybe she would feud with fucking what's her name?
Jay
Jade
Cargill.
Cargill. Yeah.
You know what? I'm saying it right now. Bailey's retaining. I changed my answer.
That's what I'm hoping for. I
I
think
don't
Bailey
know.
deserves to be champion.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
What do we have here next? Damian Priest, champion, versus Gunther for a singles match for the World Heavyweight title.
Gunther. I
Yeah,
think
I
it's
want
I,
Gunther to win.
I think it's Gunther, and I think Finn Balor might cause the match.
I think all of Judgment Day. Well, who else is with it? Finn Balor and
JD
Carlito, and
McDonough.
yeah, I think
Oh
they're
yeah,
all gonna
Carlito's
come.
in there too.
Yeah,
I
Carlito's in
forgot.
there. Yeah, it's very weird. I think they're all gonna come out and try to help him win, and that's what's gonna cause him to lose.
I think so too. You know, that's kind of cool. Like they're all like a nation of domination. No, not domination. Nation of United Nations because they're all from like different countries, right? And there's Ireland, Australia, Puerto Rico, and California. all the countries.
Boo, California, boo.
Boomy, boomy.
Yeah, no, I think that's what's gonna happen with
Yeah,
Demon Priest.
but Gunther's gonna win it though. I feel like I'm like 87% sure Gunther's gonna win it.
He needs to. He does
You
need to
bet.
win it.
Better. I'll fucking cry.
Finally, on the card, Cody Rhodes, the champion, versus Solo Sikoa, a singles match for the undisputed WWE title.
Is it sad to say that this is the match I'm least excited for?
I hope this one goes on first, honestly.
I don't. My reason that I don't think it's gonna go on first because I think Roman Reigns is gonna come back and confront Solo. I think Cody's gonna retain, but Roman Reigns is gonna come out and confront Solo Sikoa. Either he's gonna get beat down by the new bloodline, or they're just gonna face off. Something like that's gonna happen. But Roman Reigns is gonna come back.
I'm hoping John Cena interrupts and helps Cody Rhodes win
Like the two Homelanders.
by like distracting him.
Oh, dude, I hope so, man. I want John Cena on my TV screen. I never want him to leave.
Oh, Cena, he has to show up here. It's got to be part of his retirement tour.
Right, or else he has to work forever, like Ric Flair.
And I feel like he's gonna do that with Solo Sikoa, and it's gonna lead to like the next match of him with Solo Sikoa. You know,
I think so too. But overall, this looks like a good card. 7 matches, pretty solid.
all for
I think
belts.
it's gonna be good stuff. The one thing I have to complain about, it doesn't feel like a SummerSlam because
Really?
I don't think it feels like a SummerSlam because they stopped doing the gimmick of like, oh, the biggest party of the summer, and like they would show the wrestlers like cooking hot dogs at a pool party at the amusement park. That's what they need, man. They need to send these motherfuckers to a beach and just let them have fun. What's in Cleveland, Ohio? Nothing. When I think of summer, do you think about Cleveland, Ohio?
No,
I
I
don't.
don't. I think I like
Not
pollution.
even. Yeah, not even Cleveland, Ohio thinks about Cleveland, Ohio during the summer.
Nope, terrible.
Mm-hmm. Hot take.
Speaking of terrible, now that we've gone over that card, and that is for next week, which is April 3rd, right? April 3rd, next Saturday, as we're recording this, SummerSlam. And it's in Cleveland, so it's what, Eastern time, I guess?
I think it should be normal time for us because
Central time.
Yeah, Central time. I believe so.
Well, looking at the other promotion now, here's MJF unveiling the new AEW American Championship. It's a good shot of the belt. I have a picture here. What do you think of his new American Championship?
Yep.
There's another belt. That's all I thought.
I thought the same fucking shit. One of the top comments I saw was, or not top comment, I think another post with the same picture was, when I see this picture, it looks like Lex Luger. I can't explain it.
The belt?
Yeah. And they said that, and I looked at it, and it's like, I agree. I see Lex Luger, and I don't know what it is, but I see Lex Luger.
Whenever I see that there's another belt, I just think the belt maker is like, woo, and he's just got all these rings and ropes.
Fucking crown tilted like that.
Yeah. Like he's just making all this money from Tony Khan, just making all these belts for no reason.
Dude, I don't. They don't need another belt, man.
Here's MJF throwing the Intercontinental title in the trash.
Well, at least he threw that one away, I guess. But that would look nicer than this one, no?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, any fucking belt looks nicer than this one, I think.
Nope, that's a new belt. That, that's what we needed, I guess, a different title, an American title.
So. Oh, and then we should also explain to the audience that we are reviewing Blood and Guts. That was the name of the event. Yes, I forgot. And it was a very, from what I remember, it was a very short card that they had because they were promoting, MJF promoting like the new championship. I forget what else they had. Mercedes Moné in action. No, she wasn't in action. Britt Baker was in action.
Yeah, I got that here. We had Kamille show up finally after however long.
Man, we just talked about it last week too. We're like, where the fuck is she? she's like, I'm right here. Well, I don't know if she talks like that, you know.
She was what's the word? We brought her into the universe. We enchanted her or whatever.
Oh, wait a minute, that's Kamille. That is Kamille. We've seen Kamille here in AEW before. Wait a second.
She looks great.
She does look great. Let me ask you this. What's your opinion about her being partnered with Mercedes Moné right away?
It's the only thing they could do. It's it's like the Rainmaker with the Elite. You know, it's like, like we can't have you. We could maybe put a belt on you, but these people have creative control, so we can only do so much. So let's just put you as their muscle. You know what I mean? So the Rainmaker's the muscle of the Elite. Camille's the muscle for Mercedes Moné. I don't know.
But is that what they need, though? Do they need just more muscle for
No, they don't.
anything? 'Cause I miss the regular times of when they debuted somebody, they would have to like earn their championship shot. You know, like win so many matches, then earn their championship shot. But then you have Mercedes Moné, who debuted on her first night, wins the belt automatically. Then her second or third match in wins another belt automatically, just because I don't know favoritism or because she got a lot of money. There, like, and it sucks too because me personally, I feel like the crowd didn't sound hyped for Kamille debuting. You know, like I remember when they made it such a big deal, like when the time was coming up, and she signed with AEW, and then boom, nothing happens. And then people start complaining about it. It's like, oh shit, well, let's bring you out the Mercedes Moné, like you're her bodyguard. Like, go out there, go, do it, make money. I don't know, man. It's sad. I really want them to be on their own, show off their roster, dude, and because y'all got the manpower to do it. Y'all got like have matches with some people on your roster that haven't had matches in a long time. Like, give them more exposure. We don't need to see the Elite every fucking week. We don't need to see Orange Cassidy for God knows how long. I don't know, man. It's really upsetting. Like I want the best for Kamille. I really do. But I don't know if it is actually going to happen.
No, that's all they care about is like week to week, and I'm grateful that Camille is there. She's safe. She's not hurt, but she's not gonna like get any rocket to the moon push being bodyguard with Mercedes, other than maybe turning on her at a certain point. But it's like, when's that gonna happen?
Mhm.
And like, otherwise, is she really even gonna wrestle, or is it gonna be like where, oh, Mercedes gonna take a challenge? Nah, let Camille wrestle for me, and Camille just like beats the shit out of him, in like just a little bit. So I don't know. It reminds me of just like the Rainmaker, like how they put him with the Elite, and it's like, oh, that's what you're gonna do. You're just gonna have him be like the third person there or the fourth person there. Why are you doing that to the star, or like a person you paid a lot of money for, which I imagine they paid quite a bit for Camille too, being that she was pretty big star in NWA,
Yeah. And not only that, but I feel like she doesn't have, she's not getting paid as much as Mercedes. And then alone to have like creative control, like those are two big fucking things, especially too when it comes to like I guess the wrestling business. But I just wish it was more like on fair grounds where she, how do you say, where she could like earn her way up instead of like just like favoritism. Because like you said, like Britt Baker just came back and she already has a championship match against Mercedes Moné. It's like just because she came back and she's like, I want it. Like, oh, okay,
just because, yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
and it's like that's how it is. Don't get me wrong. I feel like when All In does come around, I'm thinking about buying it because I know it's like a bigger pay per view. Not saying like I don't know if I'm gonna be off that weekend or not, but if I am, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna buy this pay per view so that way I can watch it, because I feel like there are matches on the card that are happening that I'm just like, okay, that sounds fucking good. I do want to watch that. Like MJF and Will Ospreay, that one's gonna be good. I want to watch Brandon Danielson versus Swerve Strickland. Like that one's gonna be fucking good too. But I think those are the only two so far that I do want to see, because knowing them, there's gonna be a match I am gonna like, because they're probably gonna throw in fucking 25 more matches into that shit. Knowing them,
Well, here's Mercedes Monet talking about Kamille on an Instagram live. Let's see what she has to say.
And you know what? Money can buy a bad bitch. That's what money can buy. Oh my God. That's just part one of my plan of taking over AEW. Now what?
Money can buy a bad bitch. I've heard that before.
you know what else money can buy? A fucking jet ski.
And stars.
I feel like that was a subliminal message where I'm just like, I'm gonna get a Coke
buy
now.
stars.
I'm just like, I'm subscribed to the newsletter.
No, I mean, it's one way to write Kamille in without her having to face for really any belts, because obviously they have the TBS belt tied up with Mercedes, and then the other belt tied up with Tony Storm. So I don't know. It's a shame, but it's what we're gonna have to deal with, unless they're gonna put a Ring of Honor belt on Kamille or something.
It's like I might as well just stay in catering, bro.
I think
fucked up.
Red Velvet just won the Ring of Honor Women's TV Championship, I think, against Billy Starks.
Oh, really? Good for Red
Yeah.
Velvet.
Yeah,
That's fucking awesome. What about Athena? Is she still the women's champion over there?
I don't know. I think so.
Yeah, because you know what? This morning, you know what I found out last night was the Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Womp womp.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, and that was the one where I saw and knew against Billy Starks, or that defeated Billy Starks, Red Velvet, and I was all, what? That sucks, But it's just because I follow Billy Starks that I saw that,
Yeah, I follow one account that shares a bunch of gifs of wrestling, and it was, what was it? Mark Briscoe versus Roderick Strong for like the TV championship. I think it's the TV championship. And Briscoe won, and it said ROH DBD, so Death Before Dishonor. And I was just like, oh, look at that. There's a pay-per-view today. I didn't know that. I was like, oh, wait, there's Wheeler Yuta. I thought he was still in summer school, man. That William Regal forgot to pick him up.
Well, we got the main blood and guts at the end of it. There was a brutal chair shot to the head that caused a lot of controversy.
Oh my god! Did you see this?
I did see this. I had to rewind it because I was like, "Did they cut it?" But no, they didn't. I did see it. I had to rewind it though. So we'll see this brutal chair shot.
As Mark Briscoe at that.
Let's watch that one more time.
As Mark Briscoe at that.
So can you play one more time? I blinked.
Yeah, play it one more time. So if you're just listening, that is a brutal chair shot to the head from Mark Briscoe to the scapegoat Jack Perry. I don't know, like it was pretty brutal. I'll have to say that. What do you think of the chair shot?
That shit makes me wince, man. Ugh. What I'm trying to think is maybe the chair was gimmicked too, because they had written on their scapegoat, because I guess, haha, Jack Perry, that's his chair. Nobody sit here but me, damn it.
Some people were saying that maybe the chair was gimmick. I know you had sent me this deleted tweet here from Corey Graves that said, "This is not meant to sound judgmental or incite us versus them or question anybody's passion or talent or intentions. It's just coming from a guy whose career ended from a few too many accidental headshots. The art of this business is protecting ourselves and each other. Trust me, the gaps in memory are not worth it. I promise. And he had deleted that tweet. You said, right?
He did delete it because I guess people are fucking sensitive if you have a different opinion than them.
What?
What? How dare you not agree with me? You son of a bitch.
No, it did sound pretty bad, but it was a blood and guts match. What do you want to say? Like you had what's his name, Anthony Bowens, get thrown off the side of the cage into like 2 tables or 4 tables.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I guess he could safely land through 4 tables, the best he can. But this chair shot was fucking unprotected as fuck, like
Yeah.
obviously. And if it is gimmicked, it does look nasty. And man, well, it sounds fucking nasty too. I don't know. I'm trying to give it the benefit of a doubt, but it's like me too. It's like I feel like I'm past chair shots to the head. Like they don't need. I blink. Oh my god, that fucking scared me. I thought it was a pop up. That
That's what this match needs, stars.
5 stars. I think I passed that point where it's like, oh, there needs to be chair shots to the head, like in certain matches, and let alone unprotected. It's like, I don't know about that. It looks it looks unsettling now compared to like 20 years ago, where I'm like, oh shit, that was fucking badass, fuck yeah. And you get kids like recreating the spot too. It's like they try to bang their heads against shit because kids are fucking dumb. I totally get that, and I totally get like why Corey Grace was upset as well. I had to Google it because I forgot why he retired from wrestling. But it did say he has throughout his life he received a bunch of series of concussions, like he received through the life, and like a lot of them were from like chair shots to the head. I guess like on the indie scene, and I guess like he finally was just like, oh man, like this is fucked up. Like I don't want to be doing this.
I don't know why that makes you laugh. I don't know because that's all the indie scene is just taking these rowdy bumps.
I know, dude. It's crazy. It's like, man, bro, it's like I don't mind the bumps per se. I just don't understand death matches. Like I say, it's like I still stand on that point where death matches are kind of fucking dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah, they're
mean,
not worth it. They're not worth it.
they're not worth it. But when I watched this match, it was entertaining. I I thought it was pretty good for the most part. What do you think about it?
It was just too long, and there was too many like like already prepared weapons. Like the Young Bucks came out with suitcases, and they had staple guns. They had wooden like boards with barbed wire onto them. It's too prepared and too staged.
Uh
Like
huh.
those tables that were set up were already set up on the side, for their convenience. I don't know. It's a lot of prep that it throws me out of the whole match.
I remember one time I went to AEW in Austin and I took Richard and Giselle with me, and our seats were off to the side of the stage, like where they point the camera at. We're on that side, but we're closer to the stage, and you can see like the wrestlers like walking to the back and whatnot. And you just see a crew just bring in a table like with a black drape over it. They bring a table, set it down, and then they just walk off. Like, and it's like right on the side of the stage too.
uh
So I remember I had told Giselle, like, I was like, babe, I was like, that table right there. She's like, yeah. I was like, someone's gonna go through that table. Like, I promise you. And then so sure enough, when it happened, like they came out on the stage. I forgot who it was, but I think it was like with Jeff Jarrett that they were standing on the side of the stage, and then FTR came out, fucking pushed the giant dude off the stage, and he went through that same table. She has the video. I think she has the video. If I ask her for it, I'll tell her to send it to me so I can send it to you. So maybe next time on the podcast we can show it or something.
Hell yeah. No, that's what throws me out of it. It's just too prepared, and I don't know. It was a good match though, like at the end, and I just wonder how, like, they keep trying to top these matches. It's hard, especially with Wembley coming up. I'm hoping that they can fill Wembley. You know, if they don't, I feel like it's going to be a huge failure. It's going to hurt a lot of the wrestlers there, their morale. You know, for Wembley Stadium.
I know. I wonder how many tickets they've sold for Wembley already, because it's like, well, I guess according to them, it's like 80 something thousand that they could sell out.
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought it was so funny because they would always complain about WWE like hyping up their numbers even though they were lower. Did you ever remember that?
Vaguely.
So whenever they would announce like the attendance record for like a pay-per-view event or something like that, um like some report would come around, well, actually instead of 19,000 it was 17,000 whatever, like it wasn't a sellout or some shit like that, right? So for AEW, like AEW called them out a lot about that, whatever. And I remember they did the All In show last week, and sure enough, like after they would record it and everything, they're like, "Oh, it's 82,000 people, like the largest event, whatever, blah blah blah." And I think it was actually like 76,000
Mm-hmm.
people like they cut down, and I think Will Ospreay got pissed off because he had that tattoo. He got a tattoo like in remembrance for performing that in front of that many people. He's like, "Fuck! Like I already got this tattoo, and the number's wrong. Damn it!"
And I think he deleted that like tattoo tweet or whatever.
I know, man. That's like, dude, it's okay. It's not your fault. It's your boss's fault.
We've all been there.
I know, but going back to this blood and guts match, I liked it for what it was. The one thing I don't like is I feel like it's war games now to where it's like they have to do it like once every year. And that's the
Mhm.
one thing that kind of like, man, now they're just getting people just to fill up the spot. And then Young Bucks are always, they're like, ooh, me. Like, so they're always going to get picked,
Ooh.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And, but the spots were good, though.
No, it was a okay match. You know, it was just okay to watch. It was free on TV. Maybe they should have charged for it, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. I'm just glad nobody got hurt too
Yeah,
hard.
yeah. I know, man. I really like the spot with all the staple guns. Like, they were just jumping him, and then fucking Okada flicks him off, and he staples his fucking finger. That shit was fucking funny.
Speaking of you know, somebody getting hurt or nobody getting hurt, Jay White's injury that caused the Bang Bang Gang to vacate the AEW Trios titles is a legitimate foot injury, but White is not expected to miss a significant amount of time. This is Brian Alvarez from F4W Online. What do you think of that?
It sucks. Like, why would you take the belt off of them? I don't
I don't know.
understand.
I don't
I feel
understand
like
either.
at this point, I feel like it's just a petty thing from Tony Khan. Maybe he got rubbed the wrong way, so he just took the belts off of him.
It's very weird how he handles certain people, but he doesn't. But he lets people like Wheeler Yuta carry the title even though he's hurt. But this
Mhm.
guy, he strips it immediately even though it's not that long. I don't know. He's very reverse racism.
He's doing it. He's doing a Triple H, man. It's not cool.
He's doing it wrong.
And and two, like the main example I think about is when MJF and Adam Cole were the fucking tag team champions. Do you remember? That was when Adam Cole
Mhm.
broke his fucking foot, and he was out, and MJ was like, "No, don't strip the belt for me. I can defend these myself." And it was like that for fucking months until he finally lost them.
Mhm.
I said, and who are the tag team champions right now?
Uh, I don't
Is
even
it?
know.
Oh my god, is it the fucking Young Bucks?
AEW Tag Champions.
Yeah. Is it fucking? Oh man, I hope it's not the Young Bucks. It's not the Acclaimed. I know it's not the Acclaimed.
It looks like it's the Young Bucks.
Oh man, this is
List of
so
current
stupid.
champions.
Wait, try dark mode.
Tag team, the Young Bucks.
Oh my god.
They defeated FTR in a ladder match on April 21st, 2024, when the titles were vacant.
We're vacant. Who vacated the titles? Man, I don't
Sting,
remember. Oh, Sting
Sting,
and Darby Allin.
yeah.
Yes. You're right. That makes sense to vacate it because one of your partners just stopped wrestling for good. You can't defend it
Mm-hmm.
yourself. Knowing Darby Allin, you probably would. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I hope Jay White comes back soon. I don't understand like the business stuff behind some of the shit that they do. I really
I
don't.
mean, here's even more business stuff with AEW. Buddy Matthews had tried to give notice about leaving the AEW at one point, but the AEW wasn't going to release anyone to go to WWE. Tony Khan since then offered him a new lucrative deal, and he agreed to it. From the Wrestling Observer News, what do you think about this?
Isn't that retaliation? And that's illegal?
I don't think that's retaliation. I just think he was holding on to not having him go over there and then like made him a better deal. I think it's worded a little weird here
Uh-huh.
because I don't think he's explicitly said you can't go to WWE. He's probably like, well, I'll give you a non-complete cause so you can't wrestle for so long. But if you stay with me, here's the deal here, da da da. Maybe I'll give you less days so you can go hang out with your wife. Isn't he the one with Rhea Ripley?
Yeah, they're married.
So yeah, like give him
Bastard.
more time.
And yeah, because the way this is worded, it makes it seem like, oh, I'm not gonna let you go if you're gonna go to WWE, because they can say, I'm not going to WWE. I'm going to TNA.
I'm going to wrestle at home with my wife.
Do you have a race car bed? I sleep in a bed with my wife. And it's just totally kind of like, oh,
I mean, I don't know. It just sounds like he's just begging people to stay because obviously some people want to go pretty badly back to WWE now that it's the big ass fish in a little pond or a big pond, you know.
mm-hmm.
But
I don't know. Well, hopefully it's a good contract to where it makes Buddy Matthews comfortable with where he's at.
I think so.
But I know most of the time some of these wrestlers want to partake in actual wrestling instead of like just sitting there and getting paid for it. Which
Mm-hmm.
I totally get it, but man, that shit sucks. Well, hopefully it just works out for him. That's all I hope for.
Yeah, I hope he stays safe and uninjured.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tony Khan, via today's Ring of Honor media call, I'll be honest, if other companies announce 6 matches for a pay-per-view or even 5 matches for a pay-per-view, I don't think they'd get as much stick as I do. And I think pretty much anything I do in wrestling, I get more stick than anybody else per capita for just about anything I do. If I sneeze, people are mad at me. What do you
Per
think?
capita.
What do you think about Tony Khan saying this very true statement that I believe is very true, that he's
Um,
completely true about?
this true statement. How do I feel about this true statement that Tony Khan is saying is true, which is probably true?
Mm-hmm.
Not probably. It is true. Um, hot take. I think it's true.
It's great. Everything's great. We're
That was
great.
great. Ah, all coked out and shit. But he just makes himself such an easy target, man. I feel like
Yeah.
that's what it is. Like, sometimes it can be like low bearing fruit. In the end, he's just doing this to himself. Like, some of his business practices are questionable.
He's just trying to be friends with everyone, and it's not working out, especially when he stops wanting to be friends with them like Ric Flair and he just leaves them on red, or like Chavo Guerrero when he leaves them on red again or whatever.
He did leave Chavo Guerrero on red. I forgot
Mm-hmm.
about that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Terrible.
I feel like it's weird when it's at that point where it's you don't be friends with your manager.
Yeah.
Because like shit like this is like a prime example of like you cannot be friends with your manager because in the end they're just gonna think about the business first,
Mm-hmm.
and this is a clear example of like why it's that.
Unless I don't know, Vince McMahon is like the exception to the rule, but
Mhm.
obviously there are things wrong with him.
Yeah, man.
With it, where you can be friends with your boss, but if your boss is like a a sexual predator type person, it's kind of hard to be associated with him. But I mean, by God, he knows how to run a wrestling company.
But by God, he's gonna puke. He's gonna puke.
Here's
Dude.
Tony Khan on that same. Well, here's audio. Let's see. Audio. Tony Khan's response today to whether a media rights renewal with WBD Warner Brothers Discovery has been agreed to in principle. Before going to the next question, he says WWE PR has told media that AEW's deal is done at the same level as his current deal. Let's take a listen.
I wonder if you could tell us if there's any truth to the report that there's an agreement in principle between AEW and WBD for a TV renewal.
Well, we're having great talk. It's still in conversation, so I think that would be premature to say that we're all set and done, because that's still what we're working on. So having great talks, including today, and have had some great meetings with the executive team, Mr. Zasloff, Kathleen Finch, Bruce Campbell, and the great people at Warner Brothers Discovery. They've put a lot of time in and had a lot of great meetings and conversations. So it's still something we're all working on together. So yeah, I think it would be premature to say that for sure, but also important to note that it's a very good ongoing dialogue that we're having. Thanks, Brandon.
Okay, and we're going to wrap up here probably with Brian Zillum from PW Torch. We may have a couple more write-ins here, actually, Tony, but Brian, you're up next.
Hey, Jim, can I tell you something?
Yes, sir.
Or Brian, it's interesting. I don't usually do this, but since Brandon brought it up and asked, I had a major member of the wrestling media mention to me yesterday. WWE is telling people that, and I don't know why WWE is telling people about our media rights deal. I don't really know what it's any of their business. I don't really understand why WWE PR calls people and talks about my business. WWE PR is telling people that the deal is done, and that the deal is done at the same level that it was going to be our previous deal. That's not the case. I don't know why WWE PR and why major wrestling media members who are very credible and have never lied to me are, I don't know why they're telling people that. It's none of their business. I think WWE PR really gets involved in a lot of things they shouldn't get involved in. And I can tell you that is very untrue, because when we make a deal for AEW, it's going to be a great deal with a big increase over what we've been doing. We're in a really good position. We've been doing great business here despite what they're trying to do to us. Thanks.
What do you think about that? About them saying WWE PR has told media that AEW's deal is done at the same level as their current deal. They're making stories like that, or saying stories.
This dude sounds like a fucking mark. That's my thing, dude. He sounds like a freaking mark, man. It's like you literally can't live your life without thinking about fucking WWE. Who cares? If they told you, if they told people, just say, "Oh no, that's not true." Next question.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Absolutely. Just be like, well, if they can't keep our company out of their mouths, shame on them.
Dude, it's Tony, man. He shoots himself in the foot, man. It's like you don't have to acknowledge anything about. It wasn't even brought up by WWE. Nothing was mentioned about WWE, and he still fucking says something about them. Excuse me. No matter what, it's like, my guy, take a chill pill, man. Keep it tranquilo. I keep on having bubbles in my throat. Oh my god.
Well, poor guy, but no, that's all the news we have today. I mean, we have some good old fashioned, what is it, botches and weird stuff to look at. Let's take a look here. Let's see.
Let's do it.
This is Orange Cassidy giving Mr. Frog his sloth kicks.
Oh shit. Oh my god, man.
Man, I hope Mr. Frog won that one.
I know, dude. It's shit like that that pisses me off, and I hope Mr. Frog goes into business for himself.
5 stars. 5 stars.
5
All
stars,
the
man.
stars.
There's gonna be a jump scare for Halloween.
Great match. Great match. Here's Mercedes Moné completely losing it backstage at South, or what is it, the Comic-Con? San Diego Comic-Con, after Tony Khan made her match official with Britt Baker for Wembley. She even kicked down the cameraman. And if you could tell, she's dressed as Poison Ivy, and Kamille's dressed as Bane, I think.
Yes.
What do you mean, what just happened? Go to social, go to X, go see what just happened. I'm pissed off. I said anybody but Britt. Don't talk to me right now, okay? We gotta go. We got to get this camera out of my face. What just happened?
That like, man, you thought that like she didn't touch him. He just got.
He's a
She just
mark.
got. No, what a fucking mark, Butterfinger mark.
Fucking Mercedes.
Oh man.
Here's Donald Trump watching the TV like he's backstage at Raw.
Oh man, that's a Hall of Famer right there, man. It's like I would. It'd be weird if we didn't watch it like that. Just
He's not in Gorilla.
the gorilla fucking sitting in a chair just staring at the screen.
Here's check out reactions of Will Ospreay and Swerve when Tony Storm says what she's about to say. Let's take a listen.
My most memorable moment hasn't happened yet. My most memorable moment will happen at All in Wembley when I get my hands on Mariah May and I do her womb.
Dude, that is fucking funny.
Do her womb. Okay.
Do her womb. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, dude. I'll sign up for that shit.
I want to see her womb get done.
I wish she died in the womb. Oh man, it's just so bad.
Here's Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal on people who say WWE dropped the ball on him. Let's take a listen here.
So I actually see this comment a lot, and I want to kind of share my opinion on it. WWE dropped the ball on me. I would say that's not true. I had a very long career, 12 years in WWE, WWE champion, won the United States Championship at WrestleMania, made a great living, really set myself up for the future for the rest of my life. Give me a sense of financial independence where now I can just do whatever I want to do. Freedom, flexibility, got to travel the world, build amazing relationships, a lot of good memories, and it's going to continue now on the independence, just doing things my way. So WWE did not drop the ball. I had a great career. I had a great time. And yeah, thank you for all the fans tuning in for all these years.
Oh, that's sweet.
I know, man. What a humble man. Good for him. I'm happy that, it's not like the usual shit on the company. Well, I think you've been seeing that a lot more recently, too, where they say, like, a bunch of good things about WWE, like, after they've been, like, let go or something. Because I know that, well, Jinder Mahal, obviously, and the other one I can think about is Malachi Black, when he got released, or when he was Aleister Black. he said the same thing where he was just like super grateful for WWE because he said that's where he met Zelina Vega. He met his wife there. I think Keith Lee was also the same. I'm trying to remember who else. I think Daniel Bryan was probably the same one as well. Like, no, I mean, it's very weird, like, to hear people shit on the company now compared to like a few years ago. Because that was a podcast I was ready to listen to, brother.
Yeah, no, it's nice to hear that. He could have gave every little bit of complaint and said yes, but he's like, nah, everything's great. Everything's great. Everything's great.
Everything's great. Everything's great. 82,000. Ah!
No, this is a nice change from all the negativity that the Fed gets.
I know. And good for Jinder as well. I hope he has a lot of success in the indies.
That'd be cool. We have here Joe Henry left an autograph flyer on everyone's car outside of NXT.
We're on the bus ride here, which is about 15 minutes. He put his damn poster on every car on this damn parking lot. And not only that, it's signed. It's signed by him.
Every single car.
Every single car has a signed poster. This man is putting in the damn work.
Dude, he is, man. It's like I feel like they're fucking hot on him, dude. Like they really are.
No, it's great to see that he's getting his flowers there in NXT and TNA. Whatever he built, he's doing it himself, and they're letting him roll with it. So it's pretty badass.
Hell yeah, dude! And I believe in Joe Hendry. I always believed in Joe Hendry, man.
I've yet to really believe in him, but I'm very agnostic.
Agnostic.
I think that's the term. I think that's the right way.
I'll accept it. It's okay.
Here's Charles Robinson. Well, let's look at the tweet before. So here's Ric Flair tweeting, "Diamonds are forever, woo!" And he's saying his Ric Flair Nature Boy worn robe, the one with they call it the jungle design robe, currently bid at $65,000 here on an auction, and so that's there. But then you have an episode where here's Charles Robinson on Most Wanted Treasures, and he's the one that has this robe, I'm guessing, and he doesn't want to give it up. And he's like in tears because he doesn't want to give it up.
Oh man.
Hey, you're not. Hey, this is. Oh, hey, don't do that, please.
Man,
come on.
This is. Yeah, I don't want any money, man. I've had this for a long time.
Come here, man. No, come here.
He didn't want to give the robe up at all.
Oh man, that makes me so sad.
Yeah,
wait, so they ended up like taking it from him?
They ended up trading him a different robe, this gold robe. And that's valued at $50,000. So they gave him the gold robe and maybe another robe, a butterfly robe.
Is that what I saw? I thought I saw another, like a black robe, right?
Yeah, I think they gave him 2 robes for that one. But it's still fucked up. And then it's like, oh, this is going to go to a good home. Don't worry. And then it just gets auctioned off,
Oh, man, dude. That fucking sucks. That breaks my heart, man. He looks so happy. Or like what a fucking collection.
Yeah.
Especially like Richard's favorite wrestler, Ric Flair. Like,
well, this is the little Nate.
Man,
he's gonna be buried in those robes.
Damn, man, Richard's gonna be so upset because that was his nickname too in high school.
Yeah, I thought it was helicopter dick.
It's called helicopter dick because he. Hey, there goes helicopter dick Rich. What up, helicopter dick Rich?
Right off the tongue.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I think that's fucked up that they did that to him and he was like crying. He's like, "Nah, man, I don't want money. This is just my prized fucking robe," and they coerced him for TV in front of TV to fucking do it. You know?
Is that AJ Francis?
Yeah, top flop
It
dollar,
is.
top dollar.
Flop dollar. Top dollar. Yeah, there you go. Oh man, that's heartbreaking, man. I hope Little Nature's doing all right.
I hope he is too. And speaking of hoping this girl's doing okay.
Ooh.
I think you sent me this one.
Yeah, fucking shining wizard. Holy shit.
I'm surprised that chick was able to like jump on that couch, like that ottoman, and it not move. Because if that ottoman had slipped, she would have like slipped and ate shit, you know?
Oh yeah, dude.
The ottoman. Like,
The only thing she
yeah.
forgot to do, minimum criticism, she didn't slap her thigh when she made contact to show the point of impact and how rough it was.
That's true. That would have elevated it.
Just must be NXT, man. These must be rookies.
Elevated it to next level shit.
Do you know what show this is? I'm just assuming it's like Bad Girls Club or some shit like that.
I have no idea. I assume it's some sort of reality TV show. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's just putting LOL, laughing. Oh,
Everyone's
what
saying
show
there's
is
a
this?
Claymore
There's
kick.
that. Click on that one. What show is this? Anyone know?
Joceline's Cabaret New York reunion show.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. I forgot to DVR that show.
Man, funny story real quick. When you told me you would DVR stuff on Hulu, I tried checking real quick for Blood and Guts. And I was like, oh, you don't have the other subscription that's higher than this one. I'm like, man, fuck off. I ain't gonna pay more money. Sure enough, it was on YouTube for free.
Oh yeah, at least the last 15, 24 minutes of it.
So I'll take what I can get.
But taking what we can get, lastly here on the episode, here's Liv Morgan.
It's so hot. You okay?
Here's Liv Morgan being a treat. God dang, she looks good.
God, dude. You know I met her in real life before?
It's so hot. You okay? Okay. Whew. Okay. Go ahead and cut right there.
Did you meet the real her?
No, it was just some dude in the back of an Arby's.
With the wig.
I mean, he was kind of pretty too.
He had her ID from Florida.
Damn it, man.
Her driver's license.
You know what's so funny? I didn't watch that whole video because I was getting so mad with this fucking guy. I was like, I can't take much more of this. It was like he deserves all the bad shit that happened to him. But yeah, my homie and I, when the Royal Rumble was here in San Antonio in 2023, the next day they still had like their superstore open, and he wanted to get some figures signed, and it was Liv Morgan and Cody Rhodes, like before Cody became champion.
Dang.
So we met Liv Morgan, but I just remember it was just like a quick hi and bye, because she's like, "Hey guys, how's it going?" We're like, "Oh hey," so wow, I haven't seen this one in a long time. Okay, bye guys, and then like you can tell she was just ready to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
But all I know is I'm taller than her. That's all I know. And she had like those thick boots like that, you like with the 2-inch thick soles.
I'm seeing 2-inch thick soles. I'd like to
put two.
I'd like
2
to
inches.
I'd like to cobble. I don't know, like
I like to respect her. Yeah.
Well, indeed, with respect, that's the episode. That's all kayfabe, guys. No, I want to thank y'all for listening and watching and enjoying another episode. I hope you did. Gabe, what do you want to say to the people?
Nothing much, man. Just thank y'all for liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting that notification bell. all that support you guys send us this way, it really helps us out.
Yep, it helps me with my pills. I'm gonna go take some more pills, and we'll see y'all next week with more pills. That's all kayfabe, guys. See y'all later.
That's all pills.
That's all pills. That's all. Later, guys.
Later.